one of the longest-running Hyperloop startups, Hyperloop One, once backed by Richard Branson's Virgin Group, will cease operations on December 31st. This comes after Hyperloop One raised and spent hundreds of millions of dollars since its founding in 2014. Hyperloop is a new transport mode under development to enable high-speed movement of hundreds of people and goods at a time in floating ports through tubes or tunnels above or below the ground. US Vice President Kamala Harris unveiled a new policy updating the National Space Council's regulatory framework for novel activities in space. The framework accompanies proposed legislation submitted to Congress last month regarding the supervision and authorization of novel activities in the space industry. The policies include provisions to address orbital debris and develop a knowledge repository of emerging space activities. Google is changing how it stores map users' location history. Instead of keeping it in the cloud, where it's readily accessible to authorities through legal means like geofence warrants, the data will now be stored locally on users' devices. This means law enforcement will have a harder time obtaining it. Galactic Energy, a Chinese space startup, has secured $154 million in funding for the development of its reusable Pallas One rocket. The funding will go towards research and development of reusable launch vehicle technology for the Pallas One medium lift rocket and related infrastructure. The rounds were primarily led by Xiang Heavy Industry Fund and joined by Bengbu Investment Group. The Indian Mines Ministry is soon going to launch an online platform for accessing, sharing, and analyzing geospatial information across the country. The National Geoscience Data Repository Initiative, spearheaded by the Geological Survey of India and Bhaskaracharya Institute of Space Applications and Geoinformatics, represents a leap forward in democratizing critical geoscience data, empowering stakeholders across industries and academia with unprecedented access to invaluable resources. The Florida Department of Environmental Protection has tasked Woolpert with acquiring bathymetric survey data using LiDAR technologies to support the Florida Seaflow Mapping Initiative and its mission to produce a comprehensive, publicly available, high-resolution seaflow surface model of Florida's coastal waters by 2026. The data will be used by federal and Florida state agencies to help better understand the state's coastal vulnerability and hurricane impacts, evaluate the performance of restoration projects, and support ongoing coastal resilience efforts and flood risk mapping. Yahsat has announced that it is planning to merge with Bayanat, an AI-powered geospatial solutions provider based in the UAE. The combined operation will have an implied market capitalization of over $4 billion. The combined entity will be vertically integrated and aims to capture regional and international opportunities in geospatial and mobility solutions, satellite communications, and business intelligence.